Good. So we're doing page 12 and page 13 today.
All right.
So Abdiaziz, would you like to start at the top where it says becoming Canadian, please?
Sure. Becoming Canadians. Some Canadians immigrate from places where they have experienced warfare or conflict. Such experiences do not justify bring to Canada violent, extreme, or harmful prejudices. In becoming Canadians, newcomers are expected to embrace democratic principles such as the rule of law.
Yeah, good. Do you understand the ideas there?
Here, justify is meaning.
Oh, does not justify. So it says some people coming to Canada, they are coming here because their country, some of their countries, they have war and fighting. But it says even though they have war and fighting in their countries, they can't they can't think Canada it will be okay to do that here. Justify means it means if they came over here and they were fighting, there's no reason for that. They have to leave their violence in their own countries. That's what it's saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You understand?
Yep.
Okay, good. And do you know the word prejudice? It says hateful prejudices. Do you know what that word means?
Prejudice.
You ever seen that word before?
Harmful prejudice. Prejudice. I saw it, but I forgot.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Prejudice is when you sometimes some people hate another group of people for no reason. They just think it means to prejudge. That's what a prejudice means. It means you are judging somebody before you know them. So you know what I mean? Like you say, some people say, "Oh, I just don't like those people," but you don't know those people. So you're prejudging them. You're judging them before you know them. That's what those most prejudices are hateful. Yeah. So that's what it's saying. It's saying when people come to Canada, they have to forget the fighting and the prejudices in other countries, and they have to follow the law and the democracy in Canada. That's basically what it's saying there. To become a Canadian. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Okay, good. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, let's try the next part here where it says the basic way of life. Can you do that part, please?
The basic way of life in English-speaking areas was established by hundreds of thousands of English, Welsh, Scottish, and Irish settlers, soldiers, and migrants from the 1600s to the 20th century. Generations of pioneers and builders of British as well as other groups invested and endured hardship in laying the foundation of our country. This helps explains why Anglophones English speakers are generally referred to as English Canadians.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Do you understand the ideas there?
Yes. The basic way life. Pioneers and
Yeah, yeah,
builders.
yeah. Where's this? Oh, pioneers. I mean,
Pioneers.
that word is pioneer. A pioneer is somebody who does something for the first time. So they were when people came to Canada from Britain, they were the first. So they were the first to come from their country to Canada. So a pioneer is somebody who does something for the first time. So you can be a pioneer in going to space. You could be a pioneer in, technology or a new idea, and you can be a pioneer in many things. But this, when they're talking about pioneers here, it's the people that came to Canada first, many, many, many years ago. And just one
Okay.
other thing, when you're reading numbers in English, see this number here? Whenever you see that 16, so it says, when they put the little S on the end, the way you would read that is when it's a year, you would say the 1600s. That's how you say that, 1600s.
Okay.
Yeah, good. So so when they talk about Britain, Britain is a number of small little countries all put together. So you have England, you have Wales, you have Scotland, and you have Ireland. So there's four. See, English, Welsh, Scottish, Irish. So all those four little countries, little countries compared to Canada. Those little countries put together are they're called Great Britain. So that's why they have four different groups there. Because the English, they speak English. The Welsh, they have their own language. It's a different language. Scottish, they have a different language, and Irish have a different language, but they all speak English too. So
Okay.
sometimes when you say British origins or British people, it could be anybody from one of these places: England, Wales, Scotland, or Ireland. Yeah, so that's what they're talking about there. Those are the Anglophones. So whenever they say anybody who's an Anglophone in Canada, they usually say English Canadians, because most of the people who speak English in Canada came from one of these places in Great Britain. Yeah, very good. Okay, so let's go on. I'm trying to think of the questions they would ask here. Try to remember these things: English, Welsh, Scottish, Ireland. Those are the four areas where many of the first people came from. That is sometimes a question. And then when they say um, another question might be, what do they mean when you say English Canadians? You would just usually say Anglophones or English speakers. And those are the main things to think of. Those are the only kind of questions you would get. Okay,
Okay.
so let's try some more. I just want to look at these pictures before we go on, because there's a lot of pictures here. And you can see in this picture here, all the different cultures. I think this is in Edmonton, Alberta. But you look at all the different cultures here. You have this guy is from, I don't know if you can see that, just 1 second. In your book, you can see it, but let me just bring it up. This one here is from Scotland, okay? And this woman here, she looks like she is from maybe an African country, and this is an African country. These guys might be from African countries or Jamaican, Caribbean countries. So all different cultures together. All different cultures together. That's the way Canada usually is. And then I just wanted to look at these pictures here. This is this one here. Ismaili Muslims. They're in the Calgary Stampede Parade, so they're Ismaili Muslims and they're wearing cowboy hats, which is fun. And this girl here, she is from the Caribbean Festival in Toronto. In Toronto, they have a very, very big festival with dancing and singing and food. And if you ever have a chance, try to go there in Toronto in the summertime because it's really fun. It's a lot of fun. And then this one here is Ukrainian. This is like Ukrainian near Russia, but there's many Ukrainian people in the West. And these people here, these girls are Polish. So it just shows many different cultures all living together in Canada. And that's why they say this diversity. Okay. Do you remember what that word diversity means?
Yes, it means that different things to become something.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it means. Good. Can you read this part here then, please?
Sure. Diversity in Canada. The majority of Canadians were born in this country, and this has been true since the 1900s. 1800.
Good.
However, Canada is often referred to as land of migrants because over the past 200 years, millions of newcomers have helped to build the define our way of life.
Good. You understand the ideas there?
The majority. Yes, I understood this one.
Good. So these are two questions that sometimes I'll ask. They say, where were the majority of Canadians born? And you would say in Canada. That's the answer to that question. And then the other says, why do they call Canada a land of immigrants? And the answer is because millions of people have come here in 200 years to build Canada. So those are two questions that they will often ask from that. So try to remember those. Okay, let's try the next part there.
Many ethnic religious groups live in work in place as proud Canadians. The largest groups are the English, French, Scottish, Irish, Germans, Italians, Chinese, Aboriginal Ukrainians, Dutch, South Asian, and Scandinavians. Since the 1970s, most immigrants have come from Asian countries.
Very good, very good. Okay, and the only question they will probably ask you in that area is, since the 1970s, where have most immigrants come from? And then the answer would be Asian countries. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm just reading this. I think that would be the only question they would ask there. Okay, good. So let's go to the next page. Let's go to page 13. I'll just pull it up here. Pull this part here. Okay.
No.
Go ahead.
Non-official languages are widely spoken in Canadians' homes. Chinese languages are the second most spoken at home after English in two of Canada's biggest cities. In Vancouver, 18% of the population speak Chinese language at home. In Toronto, the numbers is 7%.
Good. Can you just stop there for a second? Good. So, with you, what are the official languages in Canada again? Do you remember the official languages?
English and French.
Yeah, good. So when it says non-official languages, that means anything other than English and French. Yeah, good. So after English and French, Chinese is the most spoken language, but in some cities like Vancouver and Toronto, more people speak Chinese than people speak French. Yeah, so in Vancouver, 13% speak Chinese, and in Toronto, 7% speak Chinese. Yeah, but most cities in Canada, there are many languages. You've been downtown Toronto, haven't you? Have you been downtown Toronto?
Yes, I have been. Last year, yes, I went there.
Did you notice all the different languages and restaurants down there?
Yes, there is different languages. Even
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have one of my friends from China, and he lives in Toronto, Chinatown.
Oh, really? Like
Yeah,
around Spadina Street?
yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's a good place to live. Yeah, there's good food there. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, very good. So yeah, many people speak Chinese in Canada. So many people. So this is a question here. Let's see. What is the second most second most spoken language at home? That after English. That will be a question. And the answer is Chinese. Okay, that's usually the question. Okay, so let's try this one here. The great majority. Can you do that one, please?
The great majority of the Canadians in identify as Christians. The large religious affiliations is Catholic, followed by uh, various Protestant, uh, Jewish. The number of the Muslims, Jews, Indians, Sikhs, and numbers of the religious as well as people who state no religious are also growing.
Good, very good. Okay, so most Canadians, when they say they have a religion, yeah, many people say they don't have a religion. But when Canadians say they have a religion, right now, anyway, the majority are Christian. And do you know what it means when it says religious affiliation? You know what that means? Like when you say you're Christian, but you can have 10 different groups in Christian, different groups of Christians. So there's a Catholic group and there's a Protestant group. Yeah. There's different groups you can belong to when you're a Christian. Yeah. And so the question here would be, what religion do most Canadians identify as? And the answer would be Christian. That would be the question there. And yeah, I think that would be the only question you're going to get from that one. Okay, good. And let's try the next one here. It says, in Canada.
In Canada, the state has traditionally partnered with faith communities to promote social welfare, harmony, and mutual respect, to provide schools and health care. The resettles refugees and to uphold religious freedoms, religious expression, and freedoms of conscience.
Yeah. You understand the ideas there?
Yes, here traditional. Religious expressions and freedom of conscience.
Yeah, good. So what that means is um, religious expression. That means you can you can follow any religion you want. And freedom of conscience means you can think whatever you want. So when you have religious expression, so you can celebrate your religion any way you want. Some people do many, different ceremonies and things for their religion. And freedom of conscience, that means you can think whatever you want. So some people don't believe in religion. Some people, but and other people believe this is the way the world works with religion. And so you can think whatever you want, freedom of conscience, and you can express yourself. So you can celebrate your religion any way you want. That's what it's saying. So this is the question they usually ask. Canada works with faith community. So what happens is the government they work with churches and mosques and synagogues. They work with them to help poor people or people that don't have food, or they're all working together to and to help people from other countries, refugees from other countries. So the government works with the churches and the mosques and the synagogues to help people, because that's what all churches and mosques and synagogues do. They want to help people, all the religions, but the government works with them to help people. So that's usually a question there. So they provide schools and healthcare. Yeah, and that's sometimes a question here. Social welfare. That means it just makes the community where people live. It makes sure everybody has food and housing and warmth in the winter and that type of thing. Good. Okay, let's try the next one, please.
Canada diversity includes gay and lesbians Canadians who enjoy the full protection of the equal treatment under the law, including cases to civil migrant marriage. Together,
Good. Yeah.
those diverse groups sharing the common Canadian identity make up today's multicultural society.
Yeah, very good. Do you remember what that word multicultural means?
Yes.
Remember? Yeah. Can you tell me what that means again?
Like multicultural is people bring different cultures from different countries bring to here Canada and make.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Very good. Very good. Okay. So I think that's, I'm trying to think the other questions. So in Canada, gay and lesbian people are there. It's protected in the law, and they can marry, they can get married. So those are the main things there. And then there's just another question that comes up, but it's on the picture on the bottom. So let me just show you this picture because this is sometimes so this one here, this is just this woman here, this picture here, and this will be a question. Can you just read this part here, on the bottom here?
Olympian Mary Jules Turner, Valerie of Nova Scotia, is the descendants of the Black loyalties. Is escaped silvers and freed men and women of African origins who in the 1780s fled to Canada from America, where slavery remained legal until 1863.
Yeah, very good. So that is the question. We'll say who is she? Yeah, so she was an Olympic runner, and she was in the Olympics for Canada, and her ancestors, she came from slaves, and just shows that people from all different backgrounds come to Canada to have a better life. Yeah, but that is a question in the that we will probably have today. Who is she? Marjorie Turner Bailey. Just remember, she's an Olympian that descended from slaves from America. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's try some questions today. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna try this question.
Okay. In Become Canadians, which principle are newcomers expected to impress? Democratic.
Very good. Good.
Who were the English-speaking satellites? The last one, English, Welsh, Scotch, and Irish.
Yeah. So the way you would say that, you would say Irish.
Irish.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, very good.
In my language, we say Iran.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's funny. And you say Asia, don't you? When we say
Asia,
Asia,
yeah. In my language, you say Asia.
yeah. So the vowel at the first of the word is sometimes a short vowel, like you would say Irish. That would be a short vowel, and in Canada and America we say it's a long vowel, so it's Irish. Yeah,
Irish.
it's difficult. It's difficult because it sounds the same, but it's a little different.
Yeah. Who are generally referred to English Canadians?
What do you think for this one?
I think the English-speaking Aboriginals.
You remember what Aboriginals are, though?
Aboriginal.
Do you remember that when before they talked about Aboriginals? Do you remember what that means?
Before.
Like we talked about Aboriginals. Aboriginals are here when the Europeans first came. Do you remember? Like they were like the Indians and the Métis and the Inuit.
Yes.
So do you think that's right? Do you think it would be English speaking Aboriginals. So that wouldn't be right because it wouldn't be just them. It
The
wouldn't be just.
Anglophones.
Yeah, let's try the Anglophones. Let's try that one. See that. Yeah, good. So that's anybody who speaks English. Yeah, good. English as the first language. Good.
Since 1800s, where were the majority of the Canadians born? In Canada.
Yeah, good.
Regarding diversity as what Canada often referred. The land of immigrant.
Yeah, I think that's right. Very good. Good.
Since 1870s, since 1970s, from where do most immigrants come from? Asia.
Yeah. And you said it like a Canadian. Very good. Asia rather than Asia. Very good.
After English, what is the second most spoken non-official language in Canadian homes? Chinese.
Yeah.
Chinese language.
Yeah.
To which religious affiliations do the great majority of the Canadians identify? Christians.
Yeah. Good.
Who is Marjorie Turner Bailey? The first one, the Olympic, and the second, the Black Loyalists.
Good.
In Canada, gay and lesbians enjoy the full protections of the equal treatment under the law, including cases to civil marriage. It's true. Which of the following statements about residential school fails? Is a false. The question is school is a false. Which of the following statements about residential schools is false?
Yeah, which one is false? Which one is not true? You think it's the fourth one? So which one is not true?
Okay. Aboriginal languages and cultural practices were mostly prohibited.
We did this a while ago, so it's hard to remember. Do you remember which one it was? Residential schools. It wouldn't be number 3 because that's true. Number 3 is true. And number 4 is true too. So which one is not true?
I think number 4.
Well, it's not number 4 because that's why the government did it. They had these schools because they thought they could educate the children and help them live in the Canadian culture. That's why they did it, but it wasn't a good idea. That's number 4 is true, and then number 3 is true. So it's got to be number 1 or number 2. Which one is not true?
Okay. Aboriginal people demand to be placed residential schools.
Yeah. So this says Aboriginal people wanted to go to residential schools. Yeah, that's not true. They didn't want to go, they had to. Yeah, very good. That's not true. Good. Okay, so we're just gonna do this and then we're gonna add a few more questions on here. Just 1 second. Okay. Got all these questions correct. And then we're just gonna add a few more questions on. One second. Ooh. Okay, here we go.
What?
There we go.
What percentage of Aboriginal people are First Nations? I think 65.
Yeah, I think you're right. Very good.
What percentage of Aboriginal people are Inuit? 30.
13. Remember it was the smallest one. Do you remember?
The smallest ones?
Yeah. Inuit Aboriginal people who are Inuit is a very small number of all the Aboriginal people.
Oh, yeah. 65.
So 65 is the biggest. So
Oh.
what would the smallest number be? Resident people. This one's on page 11 at the top there.
Okay.
It's in dark black.
There are 20%.
Less than 20. Less than 20.
And that 4.
Yeah. I think it's 4%. Let's see.
This one is, it means that smallest.
Yeah, the smallest. Yeah, so the Inuit people live in the north, right? And of all the Aboriginal people, they're the smallest number because it's very difficult to live in the north. Yeah. So, okay, good. What's this one?
What percentage of Aboriginal people are Métis? 65, 56, 65.
No, 65 was. So there's three types of Aboriginal people: First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. And the First Nations is 65, and the Inuit are 4. And what was the? You remember?
It's 30.
Yeah, 30%. Good.
How many Canadians were deported from their homeland during the war between British and French? About more than 2/3.
Yeah, very good. Good.
From which civilization does Canadian society esteems largely from? English speaking and French speaking Christians.
Good.
Anglo Quebecers have the heritage of — 150 years old.
A little more.
It's 250 years old.
Very good. And last question.
Since 1800s, in majority of the Canadians were born in Canada.
Very good. Very good.